So uncivilized.
Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents Uncivilized Scoundrels. We are back, full effect. So glad and happy for this episode. We got a lot to cover, and so glad to have you guys here with us tonight. It's going to be an amazing evening. Talk about Star Wars. We're going to talk about everything that's actually happening in the realm of the galaxy far, far away. And so glad to have you guys here with us tonight to do so. But of course, I can't do this without the amazing panel that I actually have with me tonight. You know, I already know these individuals are classy. Like, everybody else is all right. We got C3PO on this, so, that kind of rounds it all out. Everybody else is all right. But anyway,
Wow.
But anyway, thank you for having that. Thank you everybody for being here, man. How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Doing good, man. I was just kind of surprised. I mean, classy and CC. I mean, when did that happen?
I've been called many things. It's not something I hear very often. That's not the C word I was thinking of.
That's one of the C's. It's one of the, there's a duality, yin and yang. That's one of the C's. That's the other.
Duality, right?
Triple C.
Triple C. So check it out. It's like on Sunday. Oh, was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday when I did the shout out show. I did the dedication, the content creator dedication. I was talking about CC. I was like, look, she can be literally a comedian, bro. Like she, like literally a comedian with like a straight face can make you laugh and say some crazy shit. But to her, it's dead serious. Like that's just crazy. Anyway, CC, so glad to have you here. How you doing?
Good. It's been a minute. I'm glad to be back. I've missed these people. I sound a little congested. Like I was sick last week. Vinny was sick last week. So that just didn't work out. I've been like down with the sickness for a while now. I just feel like I don't know what it is, like lack of sleep or my immune system's just like, screw you. I just keep getting sick. I don't know what it is. I don't have kids. I'm not surrounded by kids. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. But I'm not thrilled about it. But happy to be here talking Star Wars. We had some excellent news. It's really exciting to be a Star Wars fan again. I'm counting down the days until Andor. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We got it's what, next week? As a matter of fact.
Next week, man, we get 3 episodes, guys.
We get 3 episodes next week.
Well, and what sucks is I'm going to Florida to see my family, and we're going to do like Universal Halloween Horror Nights while I'm there. And so I'm going to be on East Coast time. So I'm like, 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 a.m.
Now you know what it's like for us.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna have to like remember what that was, and then 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be.
Are you guys gonna do a watch party, Shelter in Space?
Yeah.
What?
We're still planning on it.
While you're on the East Coast?
Yep. Well, Jason's already on the East Coast. He deals with that all the time.
Yeah, but that's Jay. We're worried about you, man. Jay's used to it.
Yeah.
We'll see. And also technical stuff, like just, I'll be at my sister's house, hopefully not waking her up, and have her corgi with me as emotional support while I watch Andor and try not to lose my mind, because I just get a gut feeling that from the trailer, the newest trailer even, someone messaged me and showed me because I was like way too busy and I didn't even realize a new one had come out. But that looks fantastic too. So
yes, man. Definitely. It's a lot to go over tonight, and a lot to be excited about, a few things to be disappointed about. Very much so. We'll get into that a little bit. Vinny, man, glad to have you here. I hope you better, bro. But then again,
bro.
I mean, you had the whole cantina full of Twi'leks to take care of you while you was out. So
it helps with the healing process. After laughter, that's the next best medicine.
Straight up.
So yeah, I'm the same boat as CC. I don't know. It's something. I don't know. I blame Corona. Now colds feel worse than they used to. I used to rarely ever get a cold, and if I did, I kick his ass real quick. And now they linger. So I'm at the end of the first like 7 days of the cold, and I feel better now. But man, it's like I don't remember ever having body aches with a regular cold before. That's not fun. But it wasn't COVID. It was just a regular head cold. So I was negative and everything. So I don't know.
Wow.
But I feel better now. I was hacking up a lung last week, and I didn't want to be doing that on air. So it had added to the length that I've been off the shows, and I've missed you guys for sure. It's definitely been a minute since I got to talk Star Wars with the gang. So I'm excited for it tonight. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. So glad to have you here, bro. Like it's exciting.
Yes,
El Profesoro, man. I mean, interesting news for you. I mean, you got a chance to pick up that clone trooper today. You did,
the Chrome Trooper, yeah, man. Actually picked it up.
Did you get one or two?
Man, only got one. Only need one of that particular one, man. I mean, there's no alternative display, so I'm like, I don't need to. I'm good with one.
Yeah.
But interesting story though, man. I had to go back and cancel it because when I ordered it, it was on pre-order.
It was on pre-order
at that time. I didn't know that it was available. Then later on during the day, they said, "Hey, it's available." So, cool. But I wanted to apply some discounts to it, so I called Sideshow, and they happily helped me out with the cancellation and redid the NRD, and then I went ahead and got some discounts on it, and it all worked out.
Word.
So hopefully it'll be here tomorrow or Saturday at the latest.
Oh, okay, cool. That's good, man. I me myself, I'm kind of passing on the Chrome aspect of it. I mean, with the two, I just, for me, I'm just like not the one that I necessarily need. I got the ones that I wanted, so I'm cool. I'm glad about that. That one, you know what I mean. I can definitely do. It's not taken away from its, aesthetically is great, looks incredible, but just not one that I needed. So, but yeah, I'm happy for everybody else what they hand on it, but. Great to have you here, bro. Tobar is like Uncle Keith. Oh, you was like Uncle Keith.
That's right, me, Uncle Keith, man.
Tobar in the building. That's definitely.
It's good to see you, Tobar in the building.
Yeah,
that's
straight up,
Keith,
man. Bro. My man Keith, man.
Hey,
all day.
You know what? It wasn't just that Chrome Trooper, man. Something else actually came in earlier this week.
What was that?
And I was like, "Oh, look at this!" So a few shows ago, we went ahead and did a live pre-order because Cece's like, she's enabling us or enabled me, and I was like, "Yo, I'm getting into art prints now, and I just got something in from Bottleneck, Rogue One related, since we're going to talk Andor later tonight. So this is kind of related to that.
You gonna open it now? Or you gonna wait?
Oh, we can wait. We can open it now.
I mean, we'll address the chat and then
address the chat.
You just basically jump into it real quick. So what we got out there? We got Commander Green. My man H Green is in the building. Thank you for being here. Tobar Keith is in the building. Thank you for that, brother. We got Malika Mabane in the building. We got Nicolio the Great and Powerful. Thank you for being here, man. Who else? We got AJ Agrusa in the building. Thank you for being here, partner. Who else we got in the building? We got Marco Polo. Mary Sullivan is here. Thank you for being here. Renz Talentino. Renz, I'm still waiting on the package. It should be here sometime soon. But I'm tracking it, and I cannot wait to get in the hand. It's that Jen Erso print. Oh, God, I can't wait.
Did you see what he just did? The other day, did you see that Mandalorian he did?
Yeah,
my God, that thing's incredible.
Yeah, he killed it.
Damn, Rand freaking killed it, man.
He did. We got somebody else in the back that's actually here with us, ladies and gentlemen. We got.
Hey, there she is.
How the hell you been?
So glad to be here. So glad to
have
stranger.
You.
I'm glad to be here, guys, with you. I hope you all are well. Just good to see everybody.
Yeah, so good to see you while the wind just billows through your hair.
She does that on our live shows too, man. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
There it goes.
There you go. There it goes.
There you go. The pillow. Anyway, thank you for being here with us tonight. Let me continue to. You had a busy day?
Yes, I did have a busy day. Just normal work and trying to get things ready for the weekend. It's starting to get cold though, and I don't like that.
I'm happy.
Oh, I love it. Sweater weather's back.
I'm so happy.
I like the heat.
So happy. I am so happy.
It's still hot as fuck out here. We had one day where it was like 50, and it looked like it was going to snow outside. It was like overcast. I was stuck. I think it was last Friday, and then the day before was 97, and then the day after it was like 94, and now it's back. I think. It's getting there. It is, but I'm like, God, this is not pumpkin spice latte weather. What the hell?
Cece, how's the humidity out there?
I mean, Colorado, it's dry as hell. My skin, my like my sinuses hate the state because it's so freaking
Yeah.
dry. But I know I'm from Florida, and I don't know how I lasted as long as I did, like the 27
Yeah.
years I lived there. Because every time I go back, the humidity hits me like a brick, and I'm like, what is, like, there's no, I need to find a decent in between. Colorado is dry for me. Florida is way too wet and sticky and Republican for me, so I need to find something in the middle.
Yo, that is too funny. That is way too funny. But hey, it's chai. It is me, my chai latte, iced chai latte season for me. I'm so happy about that. I'm happy for so many different reasons, Vinny, because it's getting colder. That means that girls have to wear socks and shoes now, no more sandals. I'm so happy about that. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Huh?
Makes it cover everything else up though too. You got
What'd you say, CC?
Do you not like sandals? I don't know this thing.
He hates feet.
You don't.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It was weird. Like I guess I could say this because they don't watch this, but a friend of mine got divorced, and it was amicable. So it's like you could be friends with my ex. Like it's fine. He asked for a photo of my feet.
What?
And I didn't know. I waited a bit before saying something to my friend because she had never said anything about it. So I waited a bit, and I was like, "Hey, your ex-husband have a thing for feet?" And she was like, I went on his computer one day and I found a folder that had like thousands of pictures of feet.
The foot folder.
Wow.
And that's how she found out. I was like, how did you not find out? Because you know him and when you know what he's into.
Wow.
So you can't tell now. I haven't done it in a very long time, but I used to use like tiny paintbrushes and acrylic paint and paint my nails.
Yeah.
That was like the scope of my artistry. I do like Darth Vader, Joker, Batman, so you can see their faces and stuff. They're pretty realistic. Yeah. So that's how he slid in my DMs. He was like, "Hey, have you ever done your feet?" And I was like, No, I haven't done that. and he was like, I don't need it. You should send me a picture of your feet. And I was like, no, I'm okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nah, see, that's wow.
He was trying CC feet BO. Damn.
Got problems anyway. We got we got who else? We got in here. We got Star Wars.
I mean, no kink shaming or anything, but I just thought it was an odd way to find out.
That is kink. That's definitely
Tarantino
kink.
has left the chat.
Yeah.
We got Ope Skywalker in the building. We got a Dean. Aiden. Odin is in the building. Who else we got here? We saw 12-inch Moose Dream. That name just kills me. Mark P is in the building. Mikey Lito was in here as well. I saw Mikey earlier. Mikey Lito, thank you for basically being here, brother. We got Javius is in the building. Man, what is in the building? Thank you for being here as always. And yeah, let's begin.
Uncivilized sandals.
Uncivilized.
Yo.
Listen. So, all right. So, Mario, you got this print. That's funny. You got this print. So, I'm going to ask you solo.
I don't even want to open it anymore, man.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm making you do it. So, you got the print. Right. Let's see it. All
right, CC, you got me through this.
Okay.
I got a pull tab here, which I really appreciate.
Like the bomb squad.
So what I think you should do, just to be safe, pull the tape completely off. So even if it means you have to rip the paper, so long as it's the brown paper, make sure that the print's not like directly underneath it. That way, once you like start unraveling things, that tape's not gonna. Yeah, if it's slightly sticky, there's a chance it could like bounce backwards and like hit the print.
Okay. All right.
So I always take the.
This is legit. This is legit. The first time I'm opening in like a tubed print. So bear with me, y'all. Don't laugh.
Your first time's always nerve-wracking.
It always is. It always is. All right, cool.
Prints, y'all. Dirty minds. Now it's going to be pretty tightly bound, so you might not be able to show us the whole thing.
So now let me
Just want to be careful not to like bend it.
I know that's what I'm worried about just a little bit, but with this paper. But hey, we're getting there. Hold up. Almost there. All right. Okay, so which end does it go? Oh, there's another sheet of paper in here too.
Yeah, they probably put tissue in there also.
Yeah, tissue paper in here. So
And the tissue you
let
could
me
just
go
slide out.
ahead. What is the best way to handle it? Just like by the edges like this? I mean,
I would just
So-
gently hold it from one end. Yep, from the end. Just barely.
Wow.
Let me see. If I can get it framed a little
Yo.
Wow.
bit.
You
Yep.
And also,
son
worst
of a
case
bitch.
scenario, at
Whoa.
least if you're holding it from the edges, so long as you don't crease it, once it's framed, you won't be able to see anything. So if you do
Alright.
like
That
in a
is
corner or something like that,
legit.
it's I don't
Mhm.
care about stuff like that.
That is legit. Oh,
This is
Incredible.
nice, y'all. This is very nice.
where'd you get it
So you
from?
just Bottleneck. We
you
we
got it
did a
from
live
Bottleneck.
pre-order on this thing. So there's a little. So we can get the corners here real quick. A little bit of that. There's Andor with Cassian.
Wow.
And, I'm so nervous about this.
It's so beautiful.
Look at that,
Yeah, it's a
bro.
gorgeous print.
Look at that, bro.
Just the
Got some
flame.
Death Troopers
Incredible.
going on. Very
That's
nice,
incredible,
very nice.
bro.
Good stuff.
This is CC's enabling at her best, man.
That is
So,
incredible, bro.
Yeah.
And some of those
Wow.
portraits look very like some of the characters do. I know. So the artist is Chris Valentine. He said that some of the so this is based off of his I think oil painting. Was the original, and he said that some of those portraits, like it looked like a few of the characters, their faces are like the size of like a thumbnail. That's how small they are.
Wow. That's
Yo.
incredible to get down
How
to
long
that
ago
kind
did
of
you
level.
actually order this piece, bro?
This was about what, CC, a couple months ago? About
I could
8
probably tell you
weeks
by
or
looking
so?
at my orders.
You got it too, didn't you?
I did. Well, it's actually I have it. It's just I also I was telling Lael before the show. I just got a notification that another bottleneck art print shipped and is arriving soon. I don't know what it is. I forgot what it is. So I ordered
Don't you
that
love
on June 15th,
Okay.
the timed
There you
edition.
go.
And I think they did. Oh gosh, how many did they do? Crap. I know they announced it. I think it was. I can't remember if it was like 1,600. I can Google it, but because it was timed, like they were available for sale for I think 36 hours. Actually, Brendan, I think he got his within like the last hour it was available because he's still like,
Oh, wow.
and it's only because I asked you guys to show it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
One
remember
night.
that. Yeah.
And that's the only, and it was only like just barely still available at that time. But that artist, he's working on, I don't know if it's Secret Squirrel, but I think he just got a Mummy commission. So he's going to do a poster for the Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser.
Dope.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So I don't think that'll be like a bottleneck thing, but and he's also, I think this one might be ready soonish. He's doing, it looks like a Zack Snyder Justice League.
Oh, really?
Yep, that he just showed like a picture of what he was painting, and you could see Dark Side off to the side.
Wow.
That Batman animated series that you mentioned earlier, man, that was tempting, dude. It really was. I was like, nope, can't do it. Nope.
I'm trying to remember which one that was. There's been so many.
Yeah, I think there's a few of them with different iterations of Batman next to the Batmobile.
Oh,
Looking off.
so I got the new one today. The one, the 2022 Batman. And the Batman the Animated Series one is the one I dropped off to get framed today.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, that one is really pretty. It has a lot of like, it has blue in it that you can't really tell from photos. But yeah, that Rogue One print, I'm gonna try to fit it in a hallway next to another Rogue One print that actually, I like it a lot, but it's very dark. So I feel like just thematically, it's stormtroopers in a field. I'm sorry, death troopers in a field, and then like a plume of smoke behind them. But it's all black and gray. There's no color to it. But I think it'll look good next to that one. But yeah,
That's gorgeous.
I'm glad a lot of people jumped on that, and they're there's been a lot of interest. Like I get a lot of people messaging me asking me about art prints more so than I thought before, even though I haven't been able to do an art print show in a while. So I love to hear when people get stuff in, and that I was the reason why they lost money and spent it.
You're the go-to in the community now, man. So there you go.
Built up that reputation. There you go. Real quick. So I want to kind of knock the bad news out of the way real quick. So we can get into the good news. You know, we can take the show through like an elevation here. But the first, of course, was something that we can all say that we kind of expected. Even Mario, when we talked, you were like, somebody said we thought it was already canceled.
Yeah.
But yeah, evidently it wasn't.
Come on.
Yeah.
Bad news portion.
So,
no clapping.
It's the bad news portion.
know,
So yes.
man.
Oh, sorry.
Patty-
I meant, oh.
Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron has been pulled from its release date. Now, here's the thing. It's pulled from its release date. That doesn't necessarily mean that the movie itself has been canceled or the idea has been canceled. I just don't think that once it is greenlit again, or they do give it a release date, I don't think that as much as I want it to be, I don't think that Patty Jenkins is going to be attached to it. I really don't. I really don't. I think it's sad to say that, one particular blemish, or one mark of red on your ledger, can kind of dictate whether or not a studio wants to continue or whatever. And it's not to say that it had everything to do with it, but I know for a fact that Wonder Woman 84 played a role into it because she had creative control. She had partial creative control over that movie, the creative direction over that movie as well. So who knows if that kind of played a role in it, or it could be like just a conflict of interest when it came to the script, or, mainly her having the control that she wants, or even scheduling, delays, or just issues with, her schedule. Who knows? But again, I was, the idea of this film, especially coming off of like such films as Top Gun Maverick, which is dope, which is basically like a modern day Star Wars trench run. But coming off of something like that, it was like, you know what, ride that wave, release Rogue Squadron. It'd be just as dope if you can do it. But they pulled it. So who knows? I'm gonna start with you. What you think about that?
Yeah, I think that this particular, it's just going to have trouble getting to the finish line. Even though we're seeing, this in front of us with this article and everything, it wasn't mentioned, right? Am I incorrect on this? At D23, and everybody was talking about that. I just think that this unfortunate project is just going to be on hold for quite some time.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, we have other things that are spectacular that they're giving us. And I don't think, it would be great to get more, but if they have to take their time with it to get it right, I'd rather them do that than to go ahead and say it's coming out, like in January. No, I don't think so. Maybe it's going to need a few years, and maybe it'll make more sense anyway after Andor.
Yeah. It's the thing is, like, it was something that I really wanted to see. Like, I really wanted to see this movie. You know what I mean? Anybody who's ever played the game was dope. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, it was so dope, bro. And it was so many things that they, the essence they could have took from that. But I think that where it went wrong is that it wasn't going to be the film. So, like, from what she said, it wasn't going to be during that time. It was going to be after what we actually seen with, the Rise of Skywalker from what I believe. So I don't know. It's to do that, I would have wanted to go back and seen what it was. Back when it was supposed to release that back during that time. I would rather them go back and give us that iteration. Cece, what you think about this news?
So I agreed with Mario's comment earlier today, where it's like, I thought we'd already known this, but I think that it's kind of confirmed now because they didn't talk about it at D23. It's almost like because it was omitted, it's understood almost like without them having to say anything, even though I think Patty Jenkins did make a comment. Didn't she also confirm that it was pushed back? So that's why it's kind of like this is the final nail in the coffin. I think what's disappointing is that the concept sounds incredible, like you said, Top Gun meets Star Wars, and also I agree with the timing of it. I wouldn't be really thrilled with this if it was set after Rise of Skywalker. I don't have much interest in knowing what happened after Rise of Skywalker. I feel like a lot of that story is over with. I would have preferred probably that this be set during the time of Rogue One, just because I loved what they did with even was it Gareth Edwards? Director? He wanted all of the actors to like grow out their sideburns and grow out their hair and kind of give them like a 70s kind of look. So I think that is what I kind of envisioned with this, where it is kind of like Top Gun meets Star Wars. I understand the decision, perhaps, just because of the reception, like we said, of Wonder Woman 84. Not too surprising, because I think, didn't they also at one point, I can never pronounce his name, Taika
Waititi.
Yep. Yeah. Didn't they also have something like in the works with him? But now I question if it's gonna happen because of Love and Thunder.
Yeah. They did the same thing with the Double D's for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Season 8, and also Colin. Was it
Trevorrow? Yeah.
He was gonna do. Was he gonna do Rise of Skywalker, and then he got fired from Jurassic World?
He was gonna be. He was. Yeah. He got fired because of what he. Well, he. And they basically they blame that on the book of, what was this movie called? The book of. It was a movie that he actually did that tanked. It bombed. And then after that, it was just like a no-go. I forget the name of the film.
Fantastic Four?
What'd you say?
Did he do the last Fantastic Four?
I think he did.
I think that might have been it. The one
Book
with
of Henry, Leo?
It was the Book of Henry. That's what it was. The Book of Henry.
Okay.
Yeah. That movie, it tanked. And everybody was talking about how horrible it was. And after that movie, then he was pulled from the Star Wars IP. Like, it just didn't work out. And then they tried to say it was scheduling differences, but no, because he already had the script. You know what I mean? So then the script was leaked for The Last Jedi, which basically he had not The Last Jedi, but The Rise of Skywalker, which was labeled from him Duel of the Fates. You know what I mean? So
and his script got leaked and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, his script got leaked. So again, we now see what the House of Mouse in Lucasfilms does when, and that's not to say that this is what particularly happened with this. I'm not saying that's what happened with this, but it makes you wonder. Like, really, it makes you wonder if this is in fact the reason why, how poorly 84 was basically received. If that could have been the reasoning why this has been pushed in. Wasn't it like a rumor that there were creative differences as well? Like she
that's always the rumor, isn't it?
Right.
Isn't that's always the official statement, is that there's always creative differences when it's always a difference of opinion?
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, it's always an issue. Vinny, what you think about this? Well, I know you clapped because you were happy.
This is gonna be good.
This is gonna be good. I want to know.
All right. So they booted her off of it, a year ago, 2 years ago, and I feel like this is completely conjecture. I have no idea what goes on behind the scenes there, but it seems like they were afraid in this day and age of firing a woman, and with the way things are going right now, which is good, but at the same time, it also kind of handcuffs you to PR sometimes. And I feel like they felt like, that would be a bad look, so let's put her back on it. And I feel like they're like, well, this still sucks. What do we do? Let's just push it back, and hopefully maybe this just goes away, and then maybe we can just, I don't know, save face. But what's very frustrating is not having the balls to just part ways with her in the first place and get someone else on it. And they're sitting there watching Top Gun make like Scrooge money, and they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs with IP that they could mix with that Top Gun premise and make maybe even more money, and they're not going to do anything with it out of fear of some, feminists on Twitter being mad that they fired Patty Jenkins. It's stupid and it's short-sighted, and they should have replaced her, and this movie should be out already. It's really frustrating that it seems like the only Star Wars that they know how to do anymore is Disney Plus. And who knows when we're going to actually get another live action Star Wars film. There shouldn't be a drought like the 80s and 90s in this day and age. We should have had this film already, and it's bullshit. And I feel like there's a lot of political reasons why we didn't get this movie yet and why we won't get this movie. It's very frustrating. Wonder Woman 84 was so bad. If that was the only reason they took her off of it, it would have been warranted. What's frustrating is if you have so little faith in your directors that you hired in the first place, see the other films that we've talked about here with Taika, and if you're going to hire directors and then if they stumble while in between the process, then I don't know, maybe hire smaller, lesser known name directors who aren't going to make other projects that might, like that. If that is your basis, like you hire someone and you're not hiring them simply based on what they bring to your table, you're also going to judge all this other stuff that they're doing too, then you're doing a poor job as a producer because you're counting on too many factors in order for your film to be successful. You should be worried about how talented that person is, because like we've talked about here before, there are so many other factors that could have affected Wonder Woman 84. If they dropped Taika because of Thor, there's so many other factors that could have affected, like Disney could have been pushing him to make that as goofy as it was. And maybe his movie for Star Wars, they could have told him, just, all right, let's not do that for this one. He might've been okay with it. There's so many very frustrating decisions that's going on. And I'm not blaming it all on Kathleen. I have no idea what's going on, but it's very frustrating to be a Star Wars fan watching just unparalleled content coming from television and seeing none of it on the big screen. It's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre because we should be getting both. I'm greedy. I'm selfish. If they can do this good on television with these shows like Mandalorian and Ahsoka coming out, I know it's going to be amazing. Why can't they do a film? It just doesn't make any sense. Since Force Awakens, we have yet to have any kind of experience that even comes close to what we've had watching Mandalorian for 2 seasons and a third one coming up. So I'm happy that this is getting pushed off instead of them rushing it out just to save face from people bitching on Twitter. And it's really upsetting and ridiculous that now is what's pushing or pulling creative decisions, public outlash, and how they'll react. Have some balls, make creative and talented decisions based on what you feel is a good film instead of what people will think about what boxes you're checking off or not. Make a good movie, then worry about the other shit later.
They've fired women before and faced backlash. I don't think that that's why they waited 2 years to officially say this. Okay. I'm wondering if they can't afford to pull a Warner Brothers and say this is so shitty we can't release it and we're just going to write it off on our taxes, because I think they're following where the money is, and I think the money is more on Disney Plus right now, because even the Batman, Top Gun, I think Top Gun's been the biggest release since COVID, and if you compare that even to Avengers money, it's I don't think could be ignorance. The chat will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think those numbers compare. I still think that the theaters are really hurting. I know Regal just put out a statement that they're still trucking along and struggling to stay open. So I don't think it's hey, are we doing this for the big screen? Are we doing it for Disney Plus? I think they also took a lot of hits with the Book of Boba Fett. I think they caught some flack a little bit for Kenobi. I think they're hearing that and going, oh shit, we can't afford to stumble so many times, because people are going to just start canceling their Disney Plus subscriptions. So I hope it's for that reason and not hey, we're going to get shit. I think if they had announced 2 years ago that they had fired her, people would have been because 84 was so bad. I think applauded that because it was so bad, and been like, thank you for making a really good decision on behalf of Star Wars fans, because not to say, I mean, the first Wonder Woman was fantastic. I haven't actually seen 84 yet. I'm sure Patty Jenkins does excellent work. I just don't think, based on the consensus that I've heard of that movie, that was the best work. And there's nothing to say that they're never going to work with her again, I imagine. I just think that they're prioritizing a lot more important shit, like Ahsoka, like Mando. They're following the money, like I said, what's very popular. Andor, and I think from the trailers that we've seen, little snippets we've seen, we have a lot to look forward to, hopefully.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like, all right, fire her if you're so worried about, if any of it is that they're worried about the optics of firing her, like, then give it to Bryce Dallas Howard, give it to Deborah Chow. Like, there's been female directors who've come in on TV and just killed it. Like, bring one of them and have them do it. If you're worried about making sure that you have, that representation directing a film, and if so, that's fine. But there's other people who haven't made one of the worst movies of all time.
Yeah, I think, and I wait because I want to hear Mario's take on this. Mario, how do you feel about this, man?
I mentioned it earlier, man. I could have sworn that they've already canceled it, that they took it off the table already.
Yeah.
Then it was supposedly resurrected again. So to see this, I mean, it's not. I don't know. I'm really curious to know what the reason really is. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we can speculate about, but who knows what really goes on behind the scenes. It just sucks that, Patty Jenkins has to basically be the center of attention when it comes to all this, because everything that's been done on Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally, I saw it, or I tried to see it. I couldn't get through half of it, man. And I just, bro, no, for real, Vinny, I tried, bro.
You just seen Wonder Woman 42. That's all you made it through. You just seen half of it. You were done.
I got through like half of it, man. And I was like, to be fair, I had to stop because I had to go somewhere. But the thing is,
after that
so
opening scene
forgettable
with her as a kid, it'd have been a decent movie. But everything after her as a child in the opening sequence,
there was really no reason for me to want to go back and watch it again. So I mean, whatever. The first one was great, but yeah, everybody's right about as far as like just riding the wave of what's going on with Top Gun Maverick, and I haven't seen it yet. But from what I'm hearing, people are saying that's just like they kind of ripped off Star Wars in a sense. So why not just bring it back to form, man? I mean. Rogue One, Rogue Squadron, yeah, I love the games, man, and
the games
that's one of
so
the things.
Great.
They're fun.
Is it
dude.
true that it was supposed to be after Rise of Skywalker? Because that's such a horrible decision.
Her take was it was going to be something fresh. It wasn't going to be attached to what we saw, and it was going to be totally different from the game. So,
but
what led me away from that is that because we saw her. We saw her like walk to like a regular X-wing that we see, during the Rebellion age. So that's always like, it may have had nothing to do with it, but I think it probably led a lot of fans to believe that, okay, we're gonna get like old school X-wings. Yeah, right? Because I would love to see like Star Wars. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would love to see this stuff, man. I mean, the trench run when growing up watching the trench run, that always got me hype. For
everyone in that movie that seemed like it was just about Vader and Luke, right? They all had their own code names, and all of us as kids were like, man, gold leader, red leader, standing by. Like, I want to know like more about them. Like, what other missions have they gone on? What other things? Because obviously they already have like, they're a cohesive unit. They have all these formations. They know what they're doing. This trench run on the Death Star isn't the first time they've flown together. I want to see what else, they've been up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy money.
Biggs and with Biggs and Wedge, we could have seen some of them in the academy with some of their missions that they were on.
Yep.
I mean, we know Wedge was Imperial, right? Then he defected. So we could totally go off of that as well and bring that all into Rogue Squadron. So
there's so much lore there. I mean,
yeah,
it's just so foolish.
So here's okay. So the thing is, I don't want to take away from Patty Jenkins' brilliance because she is an amazing director. She's done certain films that have been incredible. Monster was dope. You know what I mean? So that was an incredible film. I loved, the original Wonder Woman. There's a few things that she's actually done, to her credit, that's been great. And the thing is, the reason why I can't put a lot of stress on her is because I'm looking at Lucasfilm's track record when it comes to directors. You know what I mean? Like their track record when it comes to directors, it's not just about, You know, they it's like women, men, they've done, it's like, yo, they can never nail down a director. They can never nail it down to the point where it's satisfying. That's why, like you said earlier, CC, like, I don't know if Taika Waititi is going to actually have a go, if that film's going to ever happen. You know, I don't know if it will. You know what I mean? Because he didn't even when he talked about it on certain shows, on press runs for Thor: Love and Thunder, he didn't seem too confident about it. You know what I mean? So
I bet you it don't happen now.
again, I don't know if it's going to happen, especially after this movie. And rightfully so. Like, it's the thing is, it's like part of me is like, you know what? All right, he did direct an episode of Mando, and that episode was pretty good, but it was just an episode. It wasn't an entire film. It was an episode. And I know that basically with Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and everybody, they will keep the rings on you for a little bit. They'll actually just rein you in. They'll keep that like, nah, chill a little bit. You know what I mean? Chill. But for me, I just think that, okay, I'm comfortable with going and dipping in the past and just looking at different things. But I'm on that point that right now, it's like, I do, in a sense, not with this, but with certain IPs, I do want to see a fresh take on something new because the universe is huge. You know what I mean? And it kind of just keep dwindling it down to like that Skywalker universe. Is just like, what other stories need to, there's so many different stories to be told. Like so many stories that we need to keep this thing going. You know what I mean? So again, myself, I just don't want them to touch anything else that has to do with the Skywalker saga right now. I don't. That's just where I'm at, because the thing is, I don't want to see it diluted. I don't want to see it to the point where it just you're ruining everything for me. I love the nostalgia of being able to go back and just, you know, even whether I'm reading books, graphic novels, games, watching some old footage, I'd rather keep that there. I want to see the universe expanded. I definitely do. But with Taika Waititi, what happened with myself, yeah, 84 was bad. But in my opinion, Thor: Love and Thunder sucked. Literally. Everything about that film sucked.
Well,
and
look,
I would say equally. Both of them basically equally sucked. But I give one edge on one because at least, you know, I could pull certain aspects of Wonder Woman 84 and say, you know what, that was pretty decent. Or I love the armor. You know what I mean? I was cool with that. But damn.
I'm the other way around, man. I was actually to get through Thor: Love and Thunder, man. Wonder Woman, I couldn't.
Bro, but see,
I'm sorry to say that, but
no, it's cool. And it's like I said, I mean,
worse,
84 could be worse, but at least there's certain aspects I took from it that I enjoyed. I didn't enjoy shit about Thor: Love and Thunder at all. Not one piece of it I enjoyed at all. So again, I mean, you have two directors that experience, you know, definite huge fails. It just depends on, okay, now you have, you know, Rogue One with Patty Jenkins, that's tossed out the window. What's going to actually happen with Taika Waititi?
Taika just said that he doesn't want to do any more Thors because of the backlash. And if he's that shaken up over the backlash of Love and Thunder, he might not even want to deal with Star Wars fans because they're worse.
Oh, no. We'll rip them apart. I mean, you saw what he did when he was on that, what was it, the Rolling Stone, that podcast? When he tried to get Natalie Portman to come into a Star Wars show without even realizing that she played Padme. Like,
at first I thought that was a joke, but
I did hear that.
Yeah,
come on, man.
That was like, bro, he's not the director we need.
Not when you asking Natalie Portman. Come on, really? Like, you didn't see anything, bro? Like,
at first I thought that was just him being him. But he actually forgot.
He admitted to it. He admitted to it, and I was like, "Yo, are you fucking kidding me?"
He also didn't know Hercules was a Marvel character. He thought it was an original idea having Hercules in it. He didn't know that was already a Marvel character.
Yeah, like this again. I mean, it's sad to say, but there could be, you know, something comes out of it. I mean, I definitely hope to see her in the universe. I hope to see that, you know, he's given a chance to really do something good. Because I really was waiting to hear something. I was waiting to just to see her interpretation, but I don't know. We're not going to see it. But here's the thing. It just says that it was pulled from its release date. Never said that they didn't scrap the film, but we know they did, but they're not saying that.
Yeah, wink,
but
wink.
There's always hope.
Nudge.
There's always hope for something. I try to err on the side of optimism just to see if it would happen, but who knows? We'll just wait and see. But anyway, we got a $5 super chat by our brother Cousins. Wonder Woman 84 made DC and Virginia look beautiful. That's why I like it. Yeah. There you
Man,
go.
whatever
Oh,
works for you. Shout
There
out
you
whatever
go.
works for you, bro.
There you go, brother. Because it's like, I mean, again, like I said, it's. I'm not saying it was a great movie, but and I'm a long shot. I'm not saying it was a great movie, but I can actually watch that again. Literally, I could. I cannot and will not watch Thor: Love or Thunder ever again, even though it's on Disney Plus. I won't even watch it if it hits TNT or PBS, ever.
So if it's part of a
Ever.
marathon that you're watching, you're just gonna go ahead and just dip out.
I'll dip
during
out.
that section when they're
I
playing
definitely will
Love and
dip out.
Thunder.
That's how much I hated that film. Like I hate
Wow.
it. I have a deep hatred for that film, bro. Deep hatred for that film. But I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, I don't know. Who knows what we'll actually see going down the road? But I want to kind of get this one out the way. Get the bad news out the way and sort of talk about some good. Let's spread on to some good. Now we know that there are a slew of Disney Plus shows that are actually coming up, and I think that they're doing a great job with most of them. Even like as much as people disliked Obi-Wan, I liked it. I mean, I love what I got from it. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And from my personal opinion, was it slow? Certain things in an aspect was not really great, but I loved it. I took away a lot from it. Even Book of Boba Fett, there were certain things that I loved, not the Vespa gang, but everything else I loved. You know what I mean? I couldn't stand the Vespa gang. I don't even know why they put
speeding
that
for no reason during the
yeah,
middle of a
that and the
gunfight.
mods. I was like, yeah, that mod. Yeah, no, I'm good with that. Y'all can do away with those mods. But other than that, there were things and aspects of it that I really, really thoroughly enjoyed. We know that we actually have Andor coming up, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. We have a couple of different IPs, but the one that I am so literally based on everything that I'm hearing about it so far and where they're going with it, I am super duper excited about Acolytes, bro. Like I'm over the moon about. I cannot wait because again, we get a chance to see dark side users. We get a chance to see force sensitives. Who knows? We're going to actually see there, and on top of that, right now they are really stacking the cast full of amazing talent. And I'm happy about it. We finally she was able to basically announce first off the lead actress was able to announce that she had officially signed on and she was like super excited about it, geeking out about it. And I like with the fact that she said that for her, when she takes on projects, number one, she said, I'm a geek at heart. I've watched Star Wars when I was little, with the family. So this is something that really is not new to her. But as far as this new aspect of it, she's excited about where they're going to take it. And she's excited about her character. She talked about the differences between the light side and the dark side in Grey Jedi. She talked about everything. It was just so much. It's great when an actress can come in and really commit to a role and say, she's dedicated to making a great film. So when she announced it, I was definitely happy about it. And I hope that, she definitely doesn't receive any of the backlash, that, again, we know that and I know people hate this word, how divisively toxic the Star Wars community can be. I hope that she doesn't face that backlash, but I'm so happy about this. What do you think? Are you excited about this?
I am excited about it. I wonder why we didn't really hear very much about it at D23. But maybe they were still working out contracts, and that's what held them back. But it's surprising that we didn't hear anything about it there. This actress is very talented, and of course, I saw the first one was The Hunger Games, and where she played Free. And so I just hope that this is something that she's going to enjoy and have fun playing this character. It has to get dark. I mean, this is that I am struggling with, in the sense of it should be like the most insanely darkest, horrible thing we see. But could we ever even see that for something that's supposed to be from this point of view? So that's something that I'm struggling with, just thinking, or let's say wrapping my head around. The Night Sisters were not horrible. They weren't terrible, but they were dark side users. So, I don't know, maybe I have to rethink about what it means for that or for them, or what people's intention are when they are just using the Force. What's their ultimate goal? But I imagine any dark side user is supposed to be seductive. They're supposed to be, able to convince you to do things that you don't want to do, coerce you to do things that you don't want to do. And I want to see some things like that we kind of haven't really seen recently. So I want some of that dark side stuff in a user, and some of the talent, I guess, that they would have. At least someone new with talent on the dark side.
Yeah, definitely. I'm super duper excited about it. I can't wait. Cece, what you think about with the news and what we've gotten with some of the cast? I'm gonna move on to some of those in a little bit. How do you feel about it?
I also liked the Hunger Games, especially her part in it. I think she's beautiful, and I'm just really thrilled for the Acolyte. Any news we get from this is great news. I agree with everything that Rita said as far as like, I just want something dark. I think they tease this as like a murder mystery thriller, and I want evil and I want dark side that's not redeemable. Like I think Adam Driver,
yes,
as much as people talk shit about the sequel trilogy, I think somehow Adam Driver, his acting, he made Kylo Ren in the end redeemable, and he fucking killed Han Solo. So like, I want something awful that you're like, there is no coming back from this. Like, they're just, and it's weird to say that, where you're like, I want to see a character do something so awful that it's so unforgivable that we hate this person. But I think that that's kind of what we always kind of
need.
See with Star Wars. It's like the extreme. You can't have light and characters that are always going to be heroes without having those ones that are always going to be villains, or always going to be wrong and evil and do awful things. So I hope Acolyte kind of shows us, even though it's set in a different time, that'll be exciting. I want them to show us like why we needed to be afraid of this thing called the Sith come prequel time, where they sounded so ominous and awful. I want them to finally own up to that. And I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm agreeing, like, I'm thinking like the Darth Bane trilogy, because it was one of the first like expanded universe series of books that I read. And I was like, yes, more of this, the Rule 2, like all of that kind of stuff, the deep-rooted, the reasons why we need to be concerned about the dark side and the Sith. And I think it will also make us understand the heroes a little bit. You have to have those polar opposites, that yin and yang, as we were talking about earlier. So yeah, I definitely want to see something a lot darker for this.
If it's a woman saying that what Charlie Unicorn saying, it'd be like, this is the full power of the dark side.
Yeah.
Like something really like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, you need to see the pure hatred. Like, I need to see that level of hatred, and I mean, I need to see calculated hatred. That's what I need to see.
Yeah.
I like AJ's comment. Sorry, I'm also watching like House of the Dragon, and yes, I agree. I think we need a Joffrey in Star Wars. Yeah, that's not hated because they're just, people don't like the character. Like, some people have an aversion to character. Like, I don't want to start some shit and name some characters that people love, but you know what I mean? Like, people who don't like characters because they find them annoying, or like Ahsoka snips. Oh, she's a Mary Sue. Like, I remember first when Ahsoka came out, a lot of people didn't like her. I want a character that's like, you don't like them, you hate them because of the stuff they do, not because you don't like how the character is written. It has to be story driven. The
hatred has to be geared towards the character and how they portray, like this, just the character, knowing about the character, keep it in the realm of that character. That performance makes you hate that person. It's a good hate because you're invested in that character. It's not one of those things where you're impartial because you just don't like either the actress, or you don't think that they're suitable, that they don't sound like Star Wars, or stuff like that. Like, I want, like, for instance, in Game of Thrones, again, we talk about that. They do a great job with making you hate the hell out of characters, like, literally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cersei,
and that's what I want.
Joffrey.
Like, straight up. We need that. We need that in this universe. So I agree. Definitely agree.
But at the same time, I want to be able to love someone that we're supposed to hate.
Yeah.
Going back to Game of Thrones, that one figure that demonstrated the power, and God, I hate to admit that I looked up to this dude, Tywin Lannister, man.
Yeah.
That was a character that was
Tywin-
brilliantly written, man, and just this,
It was incredible.
he was the boss, man, and that's what I want to see, like in Sith form. It's a character like that, someone that demands, that much respect, can display that much power, because that's the Sith. They're like, they don't hold back, right? They're all about, doing everything to the fullest, go beyond, your limitations and just push everything to the boundaries, and at the same time, kill each other off in the when doing it as well.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why. Do we know actually when the Acolyte is supposed to take place as far as like a particular timeline?
It's supposed to take place before the New Republic, I believe.
Okay.
I think
Yes.
from what they're saying, it's before the New Republic. And that's right around, I think it was right before or after the Ruler 2 was formulated, I believe. I think it's around that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is so far back enough where I don't think anybody can really complain about about elite characters, how they look, their demeanor, how they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. So that's another reason why I'm really looking forward to this thing, because it's something new.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, granted, it's great as the dark side, but it's something new, it's something fresh. Like what everybody was saying in the chat, and Cece mentioned as well. Please don't give us another character that's that predictable. Where they can be redeemed.
Yeah.
So
I would love to finally, see an evil character without an asterisk next to the evil. Every time it's like, yeah, they're evil, but this is, what their childhood was like, and the trauma that they faced is why they do this now. And we get that every evil character has some reason why they're like that, but you don't have to try to, have your cake and eat it too all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Like Mario mentioned with Tywin, we didn't see like some flashback to when his dad was like yelling at him to see why he's so tough and stern with his kids. You get that he's the head of house, and that's how old school men were. You are stern and you're firm and you're set in your ways, and for many years, many generations, that's just how it was done. You didn't need to explain every single questionable move that you made. I want to see the Sith in their prime be bad. That's their fucking point. I don't want to see them be bad and then a scene where they like are reflecting on what they did and feel bad about it, or sorry.
Right.
Stop, you can't always do that. Just let them be bad, and let the strength of the writing and the actions carry it out. Don't have to always try to walk the line so that way you're not pissing anyone off. It's like you guys bring up great points with Thrones, because Thrones does that all the time, and they don't apologize. They don't they don't have to hold your hand and tell you, yeah, they're bad, but it's okay because they're just bad. So what? It's just the way of the world. There's bad people out there, and if you pretend like every person that is a shitty person has like some reason why it's okay that they were shitty, then it kind of takes away from the fact that there's heroes and villains in Star Wars. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to see them stretch their wings and just like fucking like be completely badass. And as far as the actress, I'm sure she's going to kill it. And hopefully what happened has been happening in the media and what Kenobi has prepared her for what's to come.
Yeah.
It's not going to be.
I'm definitely hoping that they've actually.
It's not going to be easy, and it's really shitty that is part of the territory for, for what she's going to have to face. But that's what she's going to have to face. Like, I'm sure she already knows it, and hopefully she has, disable her Twitter and just focuses on her work, because there's nothing good can come out of her Twitter. Hopefully she just fucking shut it off, because once the show starts, everybody will find some kind of reason to bitch, and she just needs to just fucking kill it. And somebody will be like, oh, it's not because of her color, it's just because why would she do this in this scene and our at 1847 in the show, why would she like look to the left like that? Like, they'll find any fucking reason to say that. Oh, it's not It's not that. It's this.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I also love that if it is 1,000 years before, there's no beloved characters to affect how we feel about the new characters, and that
What-
hurt the sequel trilogy so much because if Ray and Kylo were in their own show, we would have been able to focus on them and the new characters and how we felt about them, as opposed to we want to see more Luke, we want to see more Han, we want to see more Leia, and that hurt that transition. So I like that it's a whole different era. So you're not worried about, oh, I want to see less of Reva, I want to see more of Kenobi, because these are our characters that are fan favorites. If you go to a whole nother generation, it's a whole new playground that they get to work in. And I feel like that's going to help everybody involved.
Yeah, we'll see, because you know what? Then even back then, people were like, "Well, I want to see Yoda." It's always going to be a reason. Somebody's going to try to find a reason, to bitch and moan. And real quick,
yeah, because Baby Yoda really should be Baby Yoda in 1,000 years ago. So why can't we see that?
Yeah. So we got also update on Jodie Turner. Now, if you don't know who Jodie Turner is, if you saw Queen and Slim, like it.
Oh, she's in it.
Yeah, she's in it. She was just announced last week, as a matter of fact, that it was under negotiations, but then yes, she's actually going to be in the Acolyte. So I'm definitely happy to see that.
Bro, they should cast her as Asajj and really piss people off.
That'd be crazy, but again, it's just the timeline wouldn't probably work. But with her in general, like I said, I'm happy to see this. She's an incredible actress. Amazing body of work, things that she's actually done, and to see her in this universe, I welcome it. Definitely excited about that. But the one that I'm super duper, and I'm excited about the entire cast, like, because I think they are going to kill it. But who I'm super duper excited to see, is my guy. Again, people have to know that I love Squid Games. Like, I loved Squid Games from the beginning to the end. Everything about it was incredible, and to see my man Lee Jung Jae, joining the cast of Acolytes, I'm so excited to see this. And they nabbed him. They was like, you know what, Squid Games is hot. These actors are hot. Let's get them in. So we're seeing a very, very diverse cast of individuals. I love seeing it. And I think each of them are going to actually come with some thunder in this, and they're gonna. I don't want to say thunder. Let me just take that back, because I fucking hate that movie. They're gonna come.
How about love instead of thunder?
Exactly right. They're gonna come. They're gonna come with it. They're gonna bring it in this show. I'm so excited about it. Cece, what you think about this? And did you see Squid Games?
I have not.
Oh.
Even though my mom loved it and everyone kept telling me to watch it, I still haven't. I'm one of those lame people that, like, I've got a laundry list of I haven't watched Rings of Power yet. People will tell me to watch stuff, and then I'll just like rewatch Star Wars instead.
Yeah.
Because it's easier and I don't have to pay attention to it. I think this is probably an excellent casting choice. Because was he like just recently get an Emmy?
Yeah, he did.
And the first non-English speaking role to win,
yeah,
for an Asian actor to win the Emmy, if I understand correctly. So I'm really excited to see what he does in this. Like I said, I'm just excited for this in general, but they're making some excellent casting choices. I know I feel like I keep diverting shit away from Star Wars, but I'm also excited that don't remember the actor's name, of course, but I'm a big Indiana Jones fan. And so the actor who played Short Round in Temple of Doom,
he's coming back. Yeah,
they got him for the next season of Loki.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So they're definitely not fucking around when it comes to casting, and I love every second of it.
Hell yeah, I definitely love. Hey, I'm not sleeping. I'm definitely not sleeping on him, because he was the next person that I was going to actually bring up. I have him here. Definitely don't sleep on this guy, because he's an incredible talent as well, and I'm so glad to see that they have him in it, like they decided to basically bring him in and cast him, it's definitely going to be incredible. To see, my man Manny in there, man. Yo, good actor. And again, representation is a must. I'm so glad to see that they are not, they're not holding back. They're opening the door for everybody to come in. And again, we're talking about around that era. There's going to be a lot of expectation with this film when it comes to, a lot of Force users who are being taught by dark side users. You know what I mean? Like that aspect of it alone is incredible because it's something that we have never seen on screen. So I'm super duper excited about it. What are you thinking about the level of diversity that we're actually seeing? I think she disappeared.
While she's speaking of R, because I'm not gonna roll it. I just meaning her icon. I heard a rumor a while ago that this might be, while we're waiting for her to come back, might be PG-13 or above.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yep.
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
I don't.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
Like nothing's confirmed, obviously, but I think it was Rob, like RS Rob, who had said like, "Oh, we heard that it was." I think it might have been a UK article actually, because it's not PG-13 for them. I think it's 17 or something like that. But they basically said like this is going to be for mature audiences only, and I was like, "Oh, say what?"
Good.
That's
Interesting.
Don't tease me with a good time though. What was you gonna say, Ben?
Right.
Lee Jang-G, he's the man. If you like Squid Games, also check out Alice in Borderland. That came out before Squid Games. It was much. I feel like it should have got the attention that Squid Games got because it was incredible as well. Props to him for his Emmy win. I really thought Bob Odenkirk would have got it for Better Call Saul because that was one of the best shows.
He's got
an
it
amazing
shut
show,
out.
man.
Yeah,
That was so. Better Call Saul was just absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the best
Yep.
television shows I've ever seen, and that's a spinoff. I mean, it was just beautiful.
Really? Ever seen? Did you forget the first few seasons, man? That's when they used to call it Better Crawl Saul.
Better
Considering
Call.
how slow it was. Better Crawl.
It was right up my alley. It was art house. It was beautiful. I loved it. I loved every episode, every season. It was so good. I loved it.
Right.
It wasn't for everybody. It was an acquired taste.
Yeah,
It was definitely set out to be nuanced and artsy, but that's what I expected going into it, and I loved it. But yeah, I'm loving the cast. The cast is amazing. They're definitely, doing their homework and making sure that they got just incredible actors all across the board. Like this is an ensemble cast already. So I get more and more excited for it more every time they cast somebody new.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm super. How you feel about it, Mario?
I gotta come clean, man. I'm honestly not too familiar with most everyone's work, but I'm excited that they're bringing on talent. Just give you that. I'm intrigued with the writing. I'm really curious to see where they're going to take this story, and if they just have the proper talent to get the job done, then yeah, I can't wait for it, man. Just hopefully it'll drop. When is it supposed to drop? Like next year or 2024? Do we know yet? Or?
They're saying 2023. I think it's projected 2023 or 2024. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
But I know it goes into production soon. Like it's basically going into production soon.
Hopefully soon, because anything what's after Ahsoka, I don't think they've actually laid down any of the plans after that. So this has got to be, I guess, somewhere around the vicinity.
Yeah, it has to be soon.
But yeah, hopefully soon, man. I mean, a Sith show, man. You can't go wrong with that, right?
Hell no, you definitely can't go wrong with it, man. So I'm excited about it. Can't wait to see it. And I mean, again, we it's more Star Wars. I mean, the more Star Wars we get, the happier I am, regardless of how everybody else may see it. I'm super duper excited about it. I don't know. We got you back. What do you think about them adding Lee Jang-jin to the fray when it comes to acolytes, especially from Squid Games? He's coming off of an Emmy award. I mean, I'm so glad to see it. What do you think about it?
Yeah, he was spectacular in Squid Game, and he played not such a nice guy in the story, which added even more intrigue to Squid Game. There was this element in it with his his family members that was involved in the story. It was complex. I hope we get something as complex as that. I think if it could be like Squid Game, or something, daring, maybe a challenge or something, because we have seen quite a lot of the scary things that they would, we would expect from the Sith already. If it was something like Squid Game, wouldn't that be amazing if they had to compete in some kind of special, competition or something? And it was as complicated of a story as Squid Game. I think that, this would be very, very special. But, Squid Game was inspired by an event that had happened in the writer's country. And he wanted to make a story that could reflect this sort of pain that the people were going through economically. It was a very interesting inspiration for it. And I wonder what the inspiration for the Acolyte could be, if they could, do something that is so sinister that was happening to people and incorporated it into the story as well. In addition to the Sith point of view, it would be equally interesting. I just hope the inspiration for the Acolyte is interesting characters that we can kind of, root for, as evil as they get, who's the more evil individual. And I think that the lady who was on before, I think she looks really sexy, and I think she would have been a good Asajj. She has a sexy look to her. At least when I look at her, I'm like, this woman's sexy. She'd be really good at Asajj, Vinny. So maybe you kind of hit the nail on the head with that casting. Yeah. You need a woman who has like a sexy look about her and kind of has that. Yeah, look at her. She could be, hell yeah.
She was practically bald in Queen and Slim. So I mean, obviously that's not what she would be in this because of the time range, but just she has that build.
Yeah, and she looks like she could do something like that. So she'd be great in the Acolyte. Like I had said before, I want to see seductive women. Yeah. Now, let's say the very first actress, she's going to be a little innocent, seductive. She looks all innocent. But in the end, she could really fuck shit up, so to speak. So, she looks all innocent, and then next thing you know, you're trapped. Kind of like if you could envision like a vampire trapping someone or a spider trapping somebody into a web, if you will, by her innocent look. But in actuality, she uses that to her advantage. And we've seen other Jedi use things to their advantage before. So I certainly hope we see a lot of that in this series.
Definitely. I have to echo every sentiment because, again, I mean, you see, she definitely has, and if you have anybody who's actually ever seen Queen and Slim, she definitely has a level of strength, that suits the universe. Like, I mean, she can stand on her own. She was also in a film with Michael B. Jordan, just like about a year ago. That was pretty decent. Too. I think it was like on Amazon or something. Like you can go back and check it out, but it was really good. She's definitely a talent, and I'm so glad to see that they're adding her to it. It's just like I said, they just no holds barred when it comes to this, this cast. They're sparing no expense on just basically making sure that it's a decent cast, hopefully a decent plot. But I'm definitely excited about it.
Without remorse.
Yeah, without remorse.
Good at that too.
Yeah, she was definitely good in that. Definitely good. But something that I know we are all here are waiting for right now. Now, Vinny, I'm not gonna, like I said, we're not gonna. I was thinking about talking about season 3 of The Mandalorian, the trailer itself, but I'm like, no, because Vinny's here, so we're not going to dip into that.
I appreciate it.
We're not going to do that. But what I'm going to actually talk about is my anticipation. Every time they show something, or every time they talk about it, my anticipation for Andor is just, I can't say enough about how excited I am about this show. Like everything. And again, we talk about the simple fact that we want something that's outside of that particular universe, something that is outside the Skywalker, universe, something that's completely expands the universe, makes it bigger. We can actually see the other side And I think that one of my biggest anticipations of this show is to watch Mon Mothma's journey. I wanted to know about that character for so long, and to finally see her, and basically how she's in the Senate, how she basically went from the Senate to being a rebellion leader, you know what I mean, and someone who's a figurehead. That is going to mean we got everyone basically here, you know in this show, that literally we can, some that we don't know, characters that we do know, but it's just the excitement, the sheer excitement and stuff that we're getting from it. What do you think, Mario? I know we've talked about it so many times, bro, and like it's almost here. It's next week, man. It's like literally next week.
Next week,
What you
man.
feel about it, man?
I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, they recently released the preview that they showed in front of Rogue One when it was released in the theaters.
On Disney Plus. Yeah,
that looks good to me.
They
That looked great,
dope.
man. It's I'm really looking forward to see some of these characters, who they are, who they play out. I love the time of the Empire. I mean, we're gonna see some transition here between the old and the new. So I mean, considering how young he was, and yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to it. But at the same time, dude, it's like every time I see these new Star Wars media, I cannot help but think, is that going to be in figure form? Are we going to get a statue of this?
That's the first thing we think
or
about,
something,
bro.
right? I mean, technically, that's what Star Wars is basically,
who we
right?
are,
They were
bro.
made to sell toys from the beginning,
Yeah.
from the jump,
That's
right?
exactly
So
what
when
we
I
think
see
about,
this,
bro.
I'm like, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. I'm like,
Yup.
but yeah, it's but yeah, this Diego Luna, I mean, just kills it in this role now, I think.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. The fact that this is going to be a 12 episode season, man, I am so happy
Yeah.
about that.
Hell yeah.
No more of this 6 episode bullshit,
Nope.
and this is set up for 2 seasons, right? Leading
Yep.
up to the events of Rogue One, from what I understand.
They
So
already greenlit, season 2.
that's
Yeah.
that's another reason to be excited right there. So there's so much to be excited about, in my opinion. Although I did mention before that I guess the earlier screenings did mention that there may be some sort of divisiveness. We'll wait and
About
see,
the
but at
era
the same
of where it
time,
is, yeah.
yeah. But at the same time, I'm also hearing that, hey, man, you're gonna love Star Wars again after watching this. So
Hell
Divisiveness in Star
Either-
Wars, get out of here.
but
That's
either way, man, I'm excited to finally watch it, and then we're getting 3 episodes off the jump.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long night Wednesday night, man, but I'm gonna consider taking Thursday off. But
It's gonna be a
we'll see.
long night.
Yeah,
But you know what's crazy about this, bro? For some reason, CC, like, it's crazy. I'm going to say this, but I can imagine you in this world. I don't know why,
yeah.
but I can
Oh,
imagine CC in this world, bro. For some reason, it's like I can imagine you in this world, fucking shit up. Like,
Dude, take out Mon Mothma, put CC in her place,
CC
bro.
in her
There you go.
place,
Well,
CC, you excited about this though?
yes, and I think, I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record, but I think, like we talked about this even before we went live, I have more faith in this than I do with. I mean, I had faith with Kenobi. Did it have its
We all did,
faults? Of course. Am I still happy with it? Yeah, I think it kind of redeemed itself towards the end, predictably. But with this, I think that, I like Andor as a character. I'm not, it's not like ingrained in me that we know what his story is like. And so therefore, if we see him in the show and it's totally not what I envisioned, it's gonna like break my heart, kind of like people felt with Kenobi, with Boba Fett, with Vader, about how the recent interpretations of the characters haven't met their expectations of what they thought for the last few decades that the character was like in the interim, like in those gaps that we fill in our heads. We don't have that with Andor. We've kind of imagined it. I haven't even read a lot of the I don't think there's been that many like canon material. I don't think there's like been a book about Andor or anything kind of reflecting his universe, like what his story is or how he came to be. So I think it's interesting that we're probably going to see like the origin of Andor. I do also think that, because of course everyone knows I root for the bad guys and not the rebel scum. I do appreciate that. In Rogue One, what I thought was so interesting was that he was pretty dark. Like we meet him when he's killing an
Mhm.
informant, like someone who's supposed to be helping him. And I think that what I like about this, the potential that this has, is kind of what I felt like they were trying to do with Saw Gerrera, where they were showing like, hey, there's rebels. There's people who have stood up, and there's small little factions that have stood up against the Empire, but it's not very organized yet. It needs to be well organized. Hint, hint, Mon Mothma. I think that she's going to be the one to organize things and kind of bring it all together to the organized kind of army that we see in the original trilogy. I think this has the potential to look more like guerrilla warfare or like terrorism and extremism. I think that that's what you're trying to set off with Saw Gerrera and explain that, like, yeah, there's rebels, and then there's Saw Gerrera, where Saw Gerrera was an extremist in the tactics he used. And I think that, in my mind, reads darker. So I'm excited for that. I do like the political intrigue, and this is where I think I might sound like a broken record. I hope they nail it more so than I think what they were trying for with the prequels and adding the scenes of the Senate and making it a little political. I'm hoping that this, like, the stakes seem a lot higher and that the politics make sense as well, where she's kind of like almost like a sleeper agent for the rebellion in the same way that Leia became later, if that makes sense, where she was a senator, but also, you know, we saw that whole scene where it's like, no, I know you're colluding with the rebels kind of thing. So yeah, I hope they really bring the kind of political intrigue and make it thrilling and make the stakes a lot higher, even though we kind of know where his story ends.
Like and that's what I want to see. Like, I know a lot of people don't really like the political aspect of it, but I do, because I think that's where a lot of seriousness comes from, a lot of the tone of what we can actually see and why there's a transformation, you know, from what we know about the Republic, you know, to where we are now with, you know, with the rebellion. Like, it's, you know, and then we get a chance to see Saw Gerrera with both his legs and not on a breathing machine. So, I mean, hopefully, like I said, I'm anticipating that.
Vinny, cover your ears, bro.
Well, I mean, that's he's right there. You know what I mean? So you can see him in a whatever, but he's on a poster. So anyway, you can see him. He's right there on the poster.
Vinny's like, oh, is that who that is?
The magnifying glass.
That's him. He's right,
that
there.
guy. All right.
Now you got it. Right.
Got it.
Of course.
But, definitely. I'm excited about where it can lead. And again, you know, when you have the same cinematographer who gave us Rogue One, you know what I mean? When you basically have the writers and all that, and you have the passion behind it, and just from what, you know, we've seen, you know, I'm not going to talk about it, Vinny, but just from what we've seen and just that short scene, they had me hooked already. I was hooked when I saw that. I was like, yep, I'm ready. Give it to me. Let's go. You know what I mean? I'm definitely all in. I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, I still can't get over how expensive this show looks.
I'm so glad you said that.
It looks like they threw a lot of money into this, and I don't think we're going to be seeing mistakes in it. It looks flawless. Maybe it's the best looking Star Wars show we've ever seen. You know, it certainly looks better than a lot of what we've seen. I love The Mandalorian, but The Mandalorian is not the greatest show ever made. I think Andor could be much better than it. Just from an overall Star Wars perspective.
From the scope of it,
the scope, you know, just even the worlds, the immersion into these worlds that we're so eager to see, right? You know, The Mandalorian travels throughout the galaxy, but we didn't really get to see as many worlds as I thought we would. You know, it was just a snapshot of the life of The Mandalorian. A lot of it was on desert planets, right? So, you know, there was a lot of sand for whatever reason, you know, that's fine. But now it looks like we're going to be seeing, you know, pretty much a lot of shots of society and you know, pretty much more of an area, more populated, perhaps, you know, not the outer realm or the outer ring or whatever it's called, the areas that nobody cares about. Maybe the areas here, or the majority of what we're seeing, will be in the areas where everybody is important, more important, you know, stately figures that are involved in this. And I kind of am a little concerned about the idea of the main character, who can pretty much do anything, get into anywhere. I want to know what's going to sway him. I have no idea what's going through this man's mind, but I don't want it to be like he meets somebody and then he gets swayed over to, fight for the cause and everything. I want it to be something by accident. I want it to be something kind of interesting versus, a more of a cliche kind of scenario. Or maybe he is already a guy who's fighting for the rebels. Maybe he already is, but we don't know. But I don't want it to be the story of like, oh, something horrible happens, convince him to now be, go on to the good side and fight against the Empire. No, it should be something in his personal interest, something maybe a little sinister, something different, because it's a complex, interesting world. Star Wars is not an ordinary place. So, with such an extraordinary world, with so much they put into it, I hope that, we see the extraordinary, something we've never seen before from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing about it is what's interesting about this world is the simple fact that inherently, when we look at the rebellion, we think of them, and as we've always thought of them through the entire universe, as being good. Like, this is what we see. But everything is always from a point of view or from a certain vantage point, because they are also labeled terrorists.
Exactly.
Like they're labeled terrorists, and they have committed some very terroristic acts. Especially with Saul Guerrero, we know basically his story from Rebels, and what we've actually seen from him with Clone Wars. Like, very, very, that line is always drawn where, again, they'll kill anybody to get the job done, regardless if it's a civilian. They basically look at the simple fact that there is always going to be collateral damage. Some people may look at the Empire, the Imperials, everyone, they might look at that, because remember, this is an occupation. Not everybody basically who joined were bad. They had good intentions, but it was just basically what they're working, and this is what they were thought to believe. And who's going to say no to the Empire, to the Senate? You know what I mean? Who's going to say, especially the way things are right now? But it's a perspective. We think that we look at the rebellion in all these years. Like, I thought about that, and I was like, that's what Rogue One kind of taught me. Even before then, it was a simple fact that all these years we believed that, again, the rebellion was the good side. But think about the repercussion. Think about the repercussions since the fall of the Empire, when we actually see everything happen in Mando. Like, that occupation is broken. Credits don't mean shit. People are lost their jobs. Stormtroopers look like bounty hunters right now. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Like, that occupation ended. People aren't getting paid, and it's a lot worse. And people think that they were well off with the old ways. So that's what I kind of want to see in this particular show. Vinny, what you think?
I think it's really fun for me to have not seen a single frame of a trailer going into this, because it gets to be all new and fresh for me next Wednesday, and I'm really excited for it. I've joked a little bit about Andor wasn't exactly like the top of my list when they were listing strings of Disney shows coming out a year before, and had Andor on the slate. As far as like what I was most anticipated things I wanted to see, but I absolutely do love that world and that cinematography and the writing. And I think one of the things that's really underscored about Rogue One's universe is that there is that absence of Jedis. So you're not sitting there just waiting for the next sword fight. It's trying to do something else. So you take that expectation of Sith versus Jedi out of it, and you get this whole other aspect of the peripheral of things that are going on in the Star Wars universe that make those fights mean so much because of how much is on the line. And Game of Thrones has been touched on a lot tonight, and that's another show that showed how interesting and engaging good writing can make political dialogue and attributes in the show be. And there's a lot going on with the Empire build up and the rebellion that is very, very parallel to current sociological political events in our world that we can relate to. Like, it's not black and white when we take, or anybody takes over a dictator regime and then doesn't have a plan, it could be worse. And if you are comfortable and you're secure in that type of environment, and then somebody goes and blows up a government installation there, though their reasons are valid, that's still, a terrorist strike. And it's a lot about perspective. Like, there's so many different sides of, to look at the things that have happened in the world of Star Wars. So there's so much to dig in and dive into here. And I'm excited for it. It's Rogue One's strength is that it's a very like grounded real world feel. It's set in the Star Wars, universe, and it has that freedom to do things that you couldn't see in one of the quote unquote Skywalker films.
Yeah.
So it has that, so they get that freedom to do shit that you wouldn't usually see. Like, like Phantom Menace caught so much shit when they were talking about trade negotiations and politics and the Senate and all that shit, because people just wanted to see Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Darth Maul fight. And this film doesn't have that like trapping. So
yeah,
they get to play in that, world a little bit more with a little bit more freedom, and people will be, I think, more open to seeing more cerebral dialogue and a slower pace, more RC type of cerebral attack on this world, and I'm looking forward to that. So I can't wait. I'm glad I haven't seen much of it, and I can't wait to see what they got up their sleeves, because we've seen Kenobi and Vader. Like, this is the other side of what goes on in that world. So I'm definitely hyped for next Wednesday. I love that we're getting 3 episodes at once, because I feel like this is something that's going to be like I get the ball rolling type of thing. I'm probably gonna like throw on Rogue One sometime this week too, and pregame get ready for it too. So I'm definitely very excited for it.
Definitely, it is excited. It's definitely going to be an exciting show. Again, I mean, the more I see as far as just even them hyping it and hearing the actors talk about it, I just get extremely hype, and I can't wait for it. So definitely I'm on board with this one, man. But one last show that I want to talk about, and before we close out here, one that literally, as again, being talked about, one that pretty much is currently on the radar right now from what we know, and it's going to be interesting to basically see how these. I mean, again, this guy is one of my favorite actors, and to basically see him in the Star Wars universe, I welcome it all day, every day. And that's the information we got about the Skeleton Crew. Jude Law is going to be there. He is an incredible actor. I loved his take on Dumbledore, and Fantastic Beast, and all his other projects. One of my favorite films of his of all times is Ralphie. I mean, Alfie. Is Alfie?
It's
Alfie.
Yeah,
Alfie.
Mhm.
I loved Alfie, bro. I loved Alfie, and that was basically a take on Michael Caine's version of it, because Michael Caine was the original Alfie, and then he came in, and it was incredible. I loved it. So that's one of my favorite films of his. But yes, to see Skeleton Crew, of course, from synopsis and everything we know about it, is that we're dealing with a lot of force sensitive children that are being smuggled and taken away. And he's part of it, of helping to get these kids to safety and stuff like that. They're equating this show to like a Stranger Things in space. So when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see how this is going to actually look and pan out. But I'm definitely excited about this. I can't wait to see it. Cece, what you think about news of this show?
I agree with you. My sister is obsessed with Harry Potter, like I am obsessed with Star Wars. She still loves Star Wars, but like, so obviously I really liked. I felt like, not that I think he needed a comeback, but I felt like he really kind of came back to the scene with like some. Say what you will about Captain Marvel. I was kind of surprised at how much I liked him in Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, he was dope.
He kind of like did a great job as the whole like, is this guy sleazy, or like what's his deal? Like, could he be trusted, or is he just using her? Like, we just don't know. Of course, Dumbledore. I just actually recently watched the latest one. Yeah, huge fan of his. I mean, I think I kind of like that we don't know much about this besides
Not at all. Yeah.
saying it's like Stranger Things in space, which I think is kind of cool. Just like the Acolyte, it feels this being like Skeleton Crew will probably be newer to us, fresher, dare I say, than Acolyte, because at least Acolyte would kind of get an idea that it's like old school Sith before the New Republic. So in our mind, we're kind of getting an idea of what it's going to look like, the kind of characters it's going to have in it, ones that we're not familiar with seeing, and then there's this. So, I mean, because there's a lot of things you could take with it. Like, when I first heard about it, I was like, is this going to be like Aliens? Star Wars? Or is it like, you know, I know it's expanded universe stuff, it's not canon, but like, I think Thrawn encountered a ship that, what was the book? Anyway, I think it was a short story, but Thrawn comes across this ship that's like abandoned, and it's basically like an investigation as to like what happened to the crew. Very kind of Star Trek, dare I say. That those might be fighting words here, but yeah, I'm just I like this one because I think it came out of nowhere for me. Because we're seeing new ideas from them, but this, it's like, what the heck? Like, why?
Yeah.
And also, I'm kind of interested if, because we're getting things like this, that's why things like Rogue Squadron had to drop off.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's a typical hat theory about that, maybe, that they decided to focus on these instead of doing something like Rogue Squadron. And I mean, we mentioned D&D, like with Game of Thrones, how their Star Wars trilogy kind of got kiboshed, probably because of the 8th season of Game of Thrones. The tinfoil hat theory a lot of people have with the 8th season of Game of Thrones is that it wasn't as good because the creators were so focused on their next Star Wars project.
That's not. I don't think that's tinfoil hat theory. That's literally what happened.
That's literally what happened. So, like, it makes me question if maybe that's why they're like, listen, we want to make sure that these are okay before we work on stuff that we know people are going to be more interested in, like Rogue Squadron. That might be just like denial in me, because I do hope that Rogue Squadron happens, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're like, let's put all of our eggs in one basket with Acolyte, with Skeleton Crew, with these new ones that people don't really have a lot of expectations for right now.
Yeah.
And save Rogue Squadron for when we have more bandwidth to make sure that we knock that out of the park.
Yeah, definitely.
Both HBO and Martin felt like the 8th season needed to be broken up into at least 2 seasons, if not 3. And they were like, "Nah, we want to wrap this up because we got shit to do." Ironically, that cost them the shit they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And even though I don't think season 8 is as bad as the mob, towards mentality of what it brought, it certainly was. It hurt their chances of what they wanted to do with Star Wars. So they should have done everything as possible to go out on a note that they were running on that streak, which but who could have? But that goes back to how Star Wars is handling directors. If they fuck up while they're in pre-production, they're out when it's their turn up at bat. It's so bizarre. So it's like, if you signed a deal to direct a Star Wars movie, I wouldn't want to do anything else. Just fucking wait until your movie comes out. Otherwise, if you fuck up, you're gone. It's really weird.
That's pretty much, you're right, how it is. What you think about the news of this show? And here's the thing, like I said, because it is set in the Mandoverse. I mean, they're saying that it is basically part of the Mandoverse. So I'm excited in a way that shows like this, when we see shows like this and the potential, it's like, okay, now you're opening up so much in this universe and so much potential to veer off and connect these characters in these shows in the end. We're getting a chance to see new things, new aspects. And to say that, now in the Mandoverse that we're dealing with Force users, like, that's, and on top of that, they're young kids, it's going to be interesting to see. Are you excited about this show?
I am. I mean, supposedly they're on the run, And it doesn't just feel though like they're on the run, does it? It feels like it's going to be a great adventure.
Yeah.
And I think something like that is something we haven't had for a while. We didn't really get it with the Mandalorian series because he is protecting somebody in a different way. And
yeah,
he had all that politics being a Mandalorian. But who is this person that Jude Law is playing? He must be somebody really special to be escorting Jedi, who are very valuable people indeed. But he might be, the only person who can save them right now.
yeah.
Maybe they're stranded somewhere. Who knows? But it's going to be an adventure. And I think it's children that he's bringing around, right? These are it's children,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, we might see a different kind of show, maybe something more, perhaps not what we saw in the Kenobi series with Leia, but, children Force users. Have we ever really had any major roles other than Anakin as a child Force user? Maybe this might be the first series that just focuses on the kids, and they're away from all the comforts of home. They have to be on this ship, I guess, that looks pretty big and cool looking.
Mhm.
This guy, it's going to be an adventure. I can't even try to imagine what this would be like, because
Yeah.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun, wild adventure. Now, do I think Stranger Things is a fun, wild adventure? No, but something about this feels like there might be a fun element to it. Now, maybe it's dark and horrible, but I don't think it's going to be dark and horrible. I think it might have some dark elements, but I think it's going to have a little bit of fun to it. So, I mean, I would imagine it would. It just feels like it does to me. I don't know. I'm getting that vibe from the picture of Jude Law, who's kind of like, looks like he's got a little scoundrel. He's a little scoundrel, a little playful smile on his face. Maybe I want it to be a little fun for these kids who are on the run. Let them have some pleasure and joy, and just enjoy being kids a little bit, because they're going to have to grow up pretty fast if they are who they claim to be, if they are going down that path. So that's what I think about it. I am excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. And again, like somebody basically brought up, John Watts is helming this piece, this show. Was supposed to direct Fantastic Four, but he bowed out from that and came to this. So it must be something special about this project that he wanted to do, especially a man of his talent. But also, he's a Star Wars fan, and he always has been. You know what I mean? John Watts is just that guy. I mean, what he did with No Way Home was brilliant. I can watch No Way Home every day. I'm like, Thor: Love and Thunder. So, El Professor, what do you think about this show, bro? About the potential of this show?
There's something interesting, considering that you guys are the way you guys are talking about the story about this man who was picking up Force users that's set in the Mandoverse. I'm thinking right away this is going to be like the start of the Jedi Academy. I think we're going to see Luke Skywalker, and this is probably going to be the start of it. This could be. I'm wondering if this might be some sort of kin to Kyle Katarn from way back when, if y'all remember him. So what if this is something like that? This could be the beginnings of that. So that's very interesting, to say the least. But yeah, because I know little to nothing about this. When you guys were explaining the news, I really didn't follow it. I didn't catch up on it. So everything you guys are talking about is completely fresh. So I mean, if it is the start of Jedi Academy, shit, we're gonna see Luke Skywalker again, man, and I'm definitely in for that. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
It's this. I think, like I said, I'm just, I'm excited that again, Star Wars is in that discussion. Like it, again, it's definitely in that discussion, and some of the heat that they've been taking, Marvel is feeling some of that heat right now too, so they can't deny that. But I like the simple fact that we are, it's in the discussion, and we're getting good Star Wars, and it's I always equate Star Wars to the holiday season. Anytime, like I think of Christmas when I think about Star Wars all the time. Same way I think about Harry Potter. By the way, we having a Harry Potter Christmas, so I can't wait for that. We already got everything ready for it. But I love Harry Potter, bro. Always have. But yes, definitely. Yeah, bro. It's crazy,
I
right?
gotta get on it.
Bro, you have to. Harry Potter is such it's fun. It's just like a fun show. You know what I mean? Vinny's secretly a Harry Potter fan too. He just don't want to tell
I'm
people.
out the closet Harry Potter fan. I love Harry Potter.
Straight up, bro. Straight up.
I'm excited for the Legacy game coming up.
Yeah.
It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So definitely exciting times, man. Lot to really cover. Am I missing anything? Is anything else that needs to be talked about that we missed? Is anything else that's out there that I haven't?
Just the new actor who's going to be playing Ezra, maybe? Is it confirmed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He looks
yes,
like
yes.
someone created him in a weird science lab out of an Ezra action figure. 'Cause he looks literally just like him.
Just like him, right?
Yep.
That's
Yo. And yo, he definitely does. Like he definitely does. This the new guy playing him. Like, and even when I pull up this photo, hold on, let me pull this up. This is probably the best interpretation of this guy. Like the best, like what you if you were looking for like an Ezra Bridger, they found him. Like they literally, and I don't even know where they got this dude from, but they pulled it off so well. Like they pulled it off so well. Let me pull it up real quick. Yo, this dude looks just like him. Like this is Ezra, bro. Like he looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Bro,
crazy.
look at that.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
I don't even care what the actor's name is. His name is fucking Ezra.
This is Ezra, bro. Like he looks just like Ezra, bro.
Really does. And
Like, damn.
fan,
Wow.
it's,
You know what his favorite band is?
better than Ezra.
She got it.
He also looks a little like he's a little charismatic. This guy, you know, he certainly has that
Finally,
little sneakiness that Ezra seemed to have in Rebels.
Yeah.
I
he
like him because he
does.
balances the good and evil by like counterbalancing Ezra Miller. So like now we can focus on the good Ezra.
Yeah, bro.
Oh man.
I never thought about that. But yeah, I forgot about the simple fact that we are getting, man, that Ahsoka show is shaping up to be something big. Like I definitely can't wait for that show. And to know that we're actually getting both Ezra and we're getting, I don't know, Cece's happy about this. Cece, we are getting Thrawn. We are getting Thrawn. Look at this. Yeah.
She's like,
she's like,
And I'm like, I really, if they fuck this up, I'm gonna be so upset. So like,
I know.
You know the day they dropped the Thrawn actor, internet's oh my god, internet's gonna go crazy.
well, no disrespect, but Mickelson. Oh, what's his first name? I always confuse him
he's a
with his
Mickelson brother. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad.
great.
Mads.
No, not Mads. No,
Mads,
his
yeah.
brother. Mads' brother.
He does the voice very well, and I know he's a live action actor, so there's no excuse not to have him actually play Thrawn. However, to me, like he doesn't have the look. Like they nailed it with Ezra. I really want them to like opt for the person who looks the most like Thrawn, perhaps, even though again he's blue. Shit's not real. Like I feel like
You get over yourself.
I know. I feel like
Oh,
I'm
no,
that
they can-
person I was just complaining about where like, oh, you think Ariel, that girl who lives under the sea and talks to fucking fish needs
Oh
to
man,
fight?
if they made Thrawn black, just imagine.
Could Mike Fassbender?
That's why I just caught myself where I'm like, do you
That's
fucking
okay. I took the bullet for you, CC. I said it.
I'm just like, listen, I need them to find someone who's blue and looks just like Thrawn.
Right.
Otherwise it's not gonna fucking work, and his eyes have to be red. Like,
Red. Mhm.
I do hope they find someone to me who looks more the part of Thrawn. But it's funny because I normally am not concerned about fucking up favorite characters because my favorite character is Vader, and I feel like Disney has actually done an excellent job with Vader.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things I think that people can't argue that they fucked up since Disney started making these movies and these shows. I think they've done even Kenobi's version of Vader. I think Vader has always been done very well. Rogue One, amazing. Like even the Marvel comics, like I think they did an excellent job. So please don't fuck this up. Like, please don't, because I don't want to feel what you guys feel like whenever they fuck up like Kenobi or Boba Fett or whatever. Like, no, I just want to live in blissful ignorance. I am very excited. I am very excited to see Thrawn. I think, you know, it's a long time coming. I mean, it's been years, but I'm still excited about the fact that they put in Rebels. And he's been in Rebels for, you know, obviously that's been out for a long time. So yeah, I'm excited, but also like I finally know what it's like, where it's like, don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up, please don't fuck this up. Come on.
Would you be upset, CC, if they made him in like a CG type of character instead of like prosthetics?
No.
You know what? I don't think I would be upset with that. That being said, I say this with like a big asterisk next to it. I have not watched She-Hulk, but I keep
She-Hulk is why I hope they don't.
From people who even like the show, who are saying that they find the CGI distracting. So
it's
tough.
Because of that,
it's really tough. It is.
I don't have much faith if they decided, because that was one of the first things I thought of was like, why don't they just make him CGI, and therefore he could look just as like weird as he did in Rebels, where they don't really have to. God damn it! If they pull a Watchman and just paint some person blue, I'm someone pray for my liver, because I'm just gonna start drinking a lot and try to forget it, because they fucking Watchmen. I love Watchmen. HBO, what the fuck were they thinking? But the show, like, they painted him in like blue latex.
Yeah,
they painted the man's dick in blue latex. Like, no one stopped and thought we should probably not be doing this.
It was comic accurate.
Like, not the latex part. That's not. It's like,
too small.
God, that's not where you should put. Well, not that kind of latex. Like, that's not. It was just not okay. Like, please do not paint someone blue and call that Thrawn. Like, please don't. Because he's such a serious character.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't make him laughable. Like, I don't want him to be like a character.
He has to be calculated. He has to be cerebral. He has to be
the first time you see him, if he doesn't have his hands behind his back and all the music stops and you just hear him fucking slowly, methodically explaining how, you know, fucking brilliant plan that he has, or why someone that's brilliant plan is wrong, because what's going to happen is they're going to do that, and then we're going to do this, and then they're going to do that. That is Thrawn. That needs to be like translated to screen, because I feel like he's such a cinematic character. When you read him, you feel like you're watching a film. Like, there's been so many performances like that in over time that have had that gravitas, and I feel like he's so meant for that. And I just hope that they're not more worried about finding someone who kind of looks like him than making sure that when he's delivering those lines, that it's that intelligence gets that intelligence is just important as just finding someone who sounds and looks like him. You need to have someone who like feels like you're listening to, like, you shut up and listen whenever he talks.
And Ahsoka is so beloved and such a badass within herself that I think that you need something. It's like Murphy's Law. You need like an equal and opposing reaction to that. So you need someone who's smart, just like she's smart. You need someone who's a badass, just like she's a badass. So if they fuck it up, if they make it more like a caricature, then it's going to make it look like Ahsoka's got an easy damn time of it. And we don't want that. We want to see them work for it.
That's the thing is, like, I want that threat. I don't want a glossed over character. I want that threat. And that's what we got from Thrawn. That's what we need from Thrawn.
That opening scene of Infinity War, when Ebony Moss is just talking and you see that like kind of stutter cam scene with that, that's that you want that weight every time he speaks. You want to feel like, holy shit, like, what is he gonna say? What is he gonna do next? And just it's such an important character. I'm with you. I really hope that they don't fuck him up, because I feel like for the people who know him, it's like you just do this. It's like, look, there's all these books. There's Rebels. There's like, it's right there. Just do that. It's like they haven't
I
fucked
can
it up
see
in
that.
all these other ways that they've, done his character. It's like it's right there. Just watch that. Do it like that.
And I have skin in the game. I have a Thrawn tattoo. I don't want to cover that.
Not literally.
No.
I don't want to sit through that. Tattoos are expensive. No, I'm okay.
Yo, this was pretty dope. This was pretty dope that you put in here. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
I like Mike Fassbender. I think he's a great actor. I think he could do it.
It'd be amazing.
He would.
It'd be amazing.
I didn't hate Benedict Cumberbatch as an option. I just think that that's too much. Like between Khan and Doctor Strange, that's like too many properties for him. I also like the idea of Jason Isaacs.
Yeah.
Like Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. I do think that maybe this casting choice, not Michael Fassbender, obviously. I don't think he would agree to it, but maybe the casting choice for Ezra gives us a bit of an idea that, like, hey, they're not going with the most obvious choice, because that was the gentleman whose name totally escapes me because I'm really awful with some names. The kid who played Aladdin was kind of like the rumored front runner for a very long time, and put out a statement that unfortunately he's like, finally, it's come to rest that I'm not a part of this, and sounds like, he's probably very disappointed in that he was hoping for that to be the case. But I mean, it makes me hopeful for Thrawn that maybe they won't just go with the obvious choice with Mickelson if they know that there's probably a better option out there.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing is, like, it just get an actor that can portray the character well and give it, and we need that actor to have that level of gravitas on screen. Now, here's the thing is, it's like one of the biggest things though is the time period, knowing where Thrawn and Ezra are, and how they're going to look, knowing that they've been in the unknown region for a long time. So, trying to figure out what's the dichotomy between both. Like, how are they, knowing that, again, Ezra is who he is, and he's, sort of like sacrificed himself, but around someone as cerebral as, Thrawn, that's going to be interesting to see, because Thrawn knows where he's at. Yeah.
Like Tommy Shelby on Peaky Blinders. If anybody's seen that, that's the type of cat that we're looking for, man.
And if anyone's familiar with like the canon novels, it makes me wonder if he's going to be almost like Disney's version of Eli Vanto, who was Thrawn's kind of like second in command, kind of like his right hand man in the books. So it'd be very interesting to see where they can go with that.
Yeah, can't wait to see it. Anyway, we are actually at almost 2 hours. Great discussion tonight, guys. I'm glad to actually have you guys here with us in this episode of Uncivilized. Incredible discussion with everybody here. So thanks everybody out in the chat for being with us, hanging with us tonight. Great discussions all around. Great Star Wars content coming. Yes, extremely excited. CC, what do you got coming up soon? Tell us what you got coming up in your world besides the amazing unload of prints that we actually will see from you. Like, so what else? What you got going on?
So I think tomorrow night is group therapy over at Rogue Run 6 with the guys, talking about the expensive shit we buy, like art prints. And then I talked to the guys yesterday, and it sounds like we are still on. Speaking of expensive shit, I'll have to talk to you guys after the show about how you feel about that Iron Studios Vader statue.
We'll have that discussion. Definitely we'll have discussion.
Anywho, we are still planning on doing Sheltered in Space with Andor. So assuming I can stay up that late or wake up that early, depending on how you look at it, I'm excited to do that and hang out because it's a fun time. It'll be cool to talk shop about content and not just the things that drains our wallets, like the collecting stuff. So Yep, that should be like early Wednesday morning, I think, is when we're going to be doing that for all 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be exciting. And the bad part about it is when it's Star Wars, you got to talk about both the stuff that we love and the shit that breaks our pockets, because it's going to be a lot of content coming, especially with this. But CC, it's always a pleasure having you here, and talking about and enabling us to buy shit. Thank you very much for that. Definitely appreciate that. El Profesoro, man, what you got coming up, brother?
Yeah, man. Thanks for hosting this week, man. What do we got coming up? We got Uncivilized again next week, man. We're gonna be talking Andor on my channel, man. So that's gonna be fun. There's a lot to discuss. Tomorrow night we got LWO, myself, the tag team champs Dan and Dre, along with Marco 166 and P-Rock. We'll all be getting together. I think Brother Cousins and 6 Mafia is going to be joining us tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, that's going to be a fun discussion. Saturday, I'm going to be on with Anthony Cisco Mafia. We actually got a giveaway going on, celebrating his 3000. So, we're giving away a Dark Trooper, which is going to be actually cool. So we're going to be announcing the winner off of that on Saturday. And, yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the week, bro. And I'm actually working on like a top 10 of something right now, so hopefully I can get that up. I want to say by Sunday.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Definitely gonna be excited. Well, I'm looking forward to that, man. As always, thank you for basically being here with us, brother. And being part of this show. Innovation is always. What you got going on?
Well, guys, of course, tomorrow I will be on Midnight's Edge in the morning at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Eastern, with Tom and Andre. On Saturday or Friday night, Lael, you and I will be on Midnight Musings on the PGS with Robert Meyer Burnett.
Make sure I got my coffee.
On Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can find me on Positive Fandom for my show, Sunday Brunch. So that is coming up. We're going to be talking all the parlay in the fandom. So guys, please do check me out on those channels. And of course here when I'm on Uncivilized Scoundrels.
Let's go. Thank you for being here as always. And are we going to be seeing you at Comic-Con too? At New York Comic-Con?
Of course you're going to be. There is something I wanted to talk to you guys about, but it's because it's about it is about Comic-Con, but it's also about Uncivilized Scoundrel shirts for Comic-Con, which is like just a few weeks away. And maybe we could get some Uncivilized Scoundrel.
You know what? And that's the thing is, that's what I kind of got to get linked up with merch. I got to try to figure that out, because that would definitely be on point if we can get that done. And this logo right here would kill it. Like literally, it would actually kill it if we did that. Thanks to Mario's. Who gave us this? Who came up with this? Mario, you came up with this logo, right?
Came up with the design, and Manny.
And Manny did this, right?
Brought it to life, yeah.
Hell yeah! So Manny did this. Shout out to Manny and El Profesoro for coming up with this piece, man. But yes,
a great logo.
Definitely a great logo. So yeah, I mean that is something that we definitely got to discuss, because if we can pull that off, that'd be incredible. So definitely we'll talk about that off break. We got Vince, my man Vinny, the room god in the building. Thank you for coming through, bro.
Always a pleasure,
man. Definitely.
We got New York Comic Con right around the corner. I'm gearing up for that. Getting my ducks in a row, making plans for it. Very excited for that.
CC might message us, be like, so they're supposed to have a certain print there. Can you? Can you look this shit up?
Real quick. So we're hyped for that.
More than I would do.
And I've been in the lab drawing as much as possible too. Some new shit on Vincent Dunn Art on Instagram, and link to the store there. So there's some new prints that I just popped up there, and then there's a few new ones coming up, and then October starts in October, and then that's just like 31 days straight of that drawing challenge. So there'll be something new like virtually every day there, and so a lot of ink and watercolor and Copic work coming your way on that front. But
Yes.
you can also always catch me on Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday nights on Leo's channel as well. And obviously, we'll probably be back here to talk Andor and in a week. And I'm excited and hyped for that. So lots and lots and lots. Never boring these days for geeks, man. It's a good time.
Definitely a good time, man. And thank you guys out there for being a part of the show. What's going on with me? Of course, we still are in the midst, deep in the midst of the Halloween, especially right now. I'm still going forward with, the Halloween initiative. And this is basically Halloween initiative for the kids. Again, all proceeds, all super chats, everything that we actually get goes towards this initiative of making sure that kids do have costumes for Halloween. Unfortunate children, from shelters to, elementary schools, we want to make sure that they are able to celebrate. So me and my lady Latoya T got together and came up with this initiative. So everything is full steam ahead. So excited about that. So yes, all donations accepted, $1.99, you know what I mean? Whatever. It doesn't have to be much. Just know that everything goes towards this. Nothing goes towards me. All this, I'm putting all my eggs in this particular basket. So I'm extremely excited about it. Setting it up, I've actually partnered with a few people about, so I'm excited. Also, keep in mind that we have actually got this raffle going right now. So it's basically 25 spots. Well, it's less now because we got so many people actually getting it, and we're giving away actually once you win. So it's you pay $25 for spots to win this Iron Scavenger from Jazz Inc. The rules are simple. You basically pick a spot, let me know, message me on IG, because that's basically where this is at on IG. You message me, I'll message you back with payment info, and you earn yourself a spot. So definitely you want to do that. There's only a few, there's still some spots left, but they're gone. So definitely make sure you come through with that. But yes, this on all proceeds with this, and this was actually something that was provided by Funky Code Santa. So shout out to Funky Code Santa for donating this. I love that name, Funky Code Santa, for donating this this gift. This is an amazing gift as a raffle. So thank you again for that. But yeah, this is what we actually got going on. So again, tomorrow was supposed to be Mega Flex Friday, but I don't know because I have a prior engagement. Again, we got the movie tomorrow night that I cannot wait to go see. I know Toya is happy about that.
Yep.
Then we have let's see here. I will be on Mafia show, I believe, on Saturday evening. We got Midnight Musings tomorrow night, and then we got Collectors Lounge International on Sunday, followed by Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday, which should be interesting about this last episode of She-Hulk. So it's a lot to basically talk about. So yeah, I can't wait. Anyway, you guys, thank you out there, everybody who's basically been riding with us with this show for the longest. We'll be back on Mario's channel next week. So we'll be with the Beard God over there. Anyway, thank you guys for being with us. We love y'all as always. If you can't keep it funky, if you definitely can't keep it funky, at least you can keep it uncivilized all the time, every day, all day. So let's go. Star Wars is in the building. It's a great time to be a geek. Peace.
So uncivilized.